So today, exclusively, we'll be dealing with the other part of intellect, that is the poor intellect. Okay. So now, what exactly understands one understands by the term poor intellect? Okay. And what could be the probable rubrics related to poor intellect? So you can use your chat, it's open, or as we have been doing all these days, you can unmute, answer, and go back to the mute mode. So what do you understand by poor intellect? See, now before we jump into poor intellect, why this exercise? Why we are trying to understand rubrics? See, now if you understand rubrics like this at the level of students or at the level of practitioners, things will become very, very easy for us. Tomorrow when you start practicing, things will become very easy. So I got few answers. Somebody says dullness, weak memory, confusion, difficulty for mathematics, absent-minded, irresolute. Beautiful. So probably if we put all the things that you have told in a table, then it will become the rubrics that we can think of for poor intellect. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll try and 1 second. Okay. Because there are a few more people waiting. So we'll add all of them. So the first rubric related to poor intellect is a very broad rubric, big rubric, is dullness, mental dullness. Okay. So mentally one feels dull. Now apart from mental dullness, you can also think of another very important thing. See, if you just see the icon that I've tried to share here, is this is something to do with memory. And as discussed in the last class, memory is at the level of recall. So for example, if you see here, some incident has happened, and that incident, this particular person is not able to recall. So that will become memory. Now, what are all the probable rubrics related to memory which will come under poor intellect? Can somebody quickly tell what?
Memory weakness.
Very good. Memory weakness of, very good. That's one
Memory
component
loss
of, good.
forgetfulness.
You have three very important things when it comes to memory. Memory active, which we discussed in the last class, which is mainly a good intellect rubric. The other two very important things we have here is memory weakness of and memory loss of. Okay. So from the homeopathic perspective, memory loss will have a higher value, and memory weakness comparatively will have a lower value. Okay. So memory weakness is more psychosis. Memory loss is more of psychocephalus. There was a small demand last time. They were asking try to correlate mathematically, which I'm trying to do. So dullness is more psychosis. Memory weakness is again psychosis. Memory loss will be more psychocephalus. Okay. If at all have anything to ask, you can just continue asking. And now we have another very important thing here, and this is forgetfulness. Quickly, can somebody recall what was the simple difference that we tried to understand in the last class? Memory weakness and forgetful. We have discussed this under good intellect rubrics. Memory weakness and forgetfulness.
Forgetfulness is related to predetermined events or schedules.
Okay. So something you're planning or something is there. Okay, some schedule, and that you might forget. But memory weakness is more of
Retaining the
able to
knowledge
recall.
not able to recall. See now, see, to be very honest,
more related to knowledge of past.
okay, more related to knowledge of past.
Retaining the knowledge.
Not able to remember the past. Very good, absolutely right. See, these are very important because as you start practicing homeopathy, like, these are all small things that will keep coming up. How do we differentiate? Okay, so memory weakness, forgetful. You have another very important thing. Now this is a rubric related to poor intellect, and this is concentration difficult. Now one or two words about this, what exactly one understands from this rubric, concentration difficult.
Not able to focus and mind wanders.
Okay, not able to focus. See, you have this at different levels. So like probably in the next slide, you'll be seeing absent-mindedness. In the next slide, you'll also see abstraction of mind, etc., etc. So there are different levels. So not able to concentrate, not able to focus. Okay. See, there are a lot of sub-rubrics in this particular rubric, main rubric. And I'll just share a small case here, and then we can go ahead further. You know, here we had a case. Is Dr. Varshini there today? So, you know, we had a small case of a boy who is doing his +2, and he was a guy who was comparatively very dull. He had problems concentrating and all. So when we were trying to understand this case, what came out very strong is, his father told us what came out very strong is, whenever he had to concentrate, fine, he used to always keep rubbing his head over the, his hand over the forehead. Now this is what he used to constantly do. Okay, can somebody quickly tell me how do we hunt this particular rubric in a repertory? Except Varshini, because she was the one who gave the right answer when we were struggling in our clinic with this particular thing. Concentration difficult, and what we also saw was this boy used to keep rubbing his hand over the forehead. Okay, so now how do you come to a conclusion, or how do you decide which rubric to take here? You're all there?
AC cooling केलं ना किद्या?
Huh? So how do you hunt? So this boy's hand would go over forehead when he had to concentrate, when he had to study, or anything where he had to concentrate. No, his hand would automatically go over the forehead. This is the symptom the father was telling, and again confirmed by the patient. Now the point is, how do you how do you hunt this in your repertory? Somebody here. Okay, concentration difficult, rubbing forehead when trying to concentrate. Now this is the rubric that we're taken. Dr. Dikshit has given this, absolutely right. So concentration difficult, you know, and he used to keep rubbing his hand over the forehead. You have it under the sub rubrics. Now why I'm trying to tell you this is, many times we tend to give less importance to the sub rubrics. So when you have a big rubric, also try to understand, go into the details. For example, it could be aggravation, it could be amelioration. For what exactly they have difficulty in concentrating. There are people who might have difficulty concentrating only while reading, concentrating only while writing. It could be a lot of things. So you will have to take details, and then you'll have to go ahead. Okay. So what is the remedy?
Haliborus.
Very good. Heliborus. See, it is Heliborus. I must be aluminous also there, but
Yes.
in the repertory that we were looking, this is from Radar, and the remedy was Heliborus. Now, how do you differentiate Heliborus and alumina? Good. Somebody has told alumina, and if Varshini and Dikshit and even Manjunath was there that day, the remedy I had in my mind was alumina. Now, how do you differentiate alumina from Heliborus? Now, what are the common things between alumina and Heliborus? What is the common point?
Sir, alumina is more of confusion.
Okay, alumina has got more of confusion. Yes, Harsha. And somebody has told Heliborus is fast remedy, alumina is slow remedy. Unfortunately, both are slow remedies. Okay, so both are slow. But what is it that helps us to differentiate alumina from Heliborus? Now, this is where we make mistakes. You know, we all keep worrying so much about the mind. And the simplest differentiating point for us was, what is the aversions of helleborus? What is the aversion?
Vegetables.
Very good, absolutely right. Vegetable. So in the case taking, when we took after, see, this is analysis after taking the case. So when we saw this boy had a strong aversion to vegetables, which goes more in favor of helleborus. And for example, for me, if it is alumina, generally, how I rule out is, we generally ask for constipation. Okay. If he's not constipated, it is not alumina for me. Fine. So this guy had very normal and regular stools, but luckily he had aversion to vegetables, and the remedy we prescribed was helleborus 200 single dose. Concentration is much better. Those three names that I've told you, those assistants, they have seen the follow-ups. You can check with them. Beautiful follow-up, and you could concentrate better. We are waiting for a second PU results. Probably in one more subject is pending, English. Probably after that I can also tell you the percentage scored, etc. Okay. So concentration difficult is when you are not able to focus. See, not only concentration difficult, you have another very important rubric that is coming up here, and that is comprehension difficult. What is the simple difference between concentration difficult and comprehension difficult?
Comprehension is understanding.
Okay, very good. Comprehension is more of understanding. Okay. So when something is told, fine, you are not able to comprehend it. You are not able to understand it. Even this is a very large rubric. You've got a lot of sub rubrics. So when time permits, please do go through the sub rubrics, because I can't tell you all the sub rubrics now. At least concentration, comprehension is something you'll have to remember. Now memory, we have just discussed this, so I'll skip this slide. Now another very important rubric, slowly we are going higher. The other important rubric that comes up from poor intellect is absent-mindedness. This somebody had already contributed when the question was raised. Now what do you understand by absent-minded?
They're physically present but mind is absent.
Okay, physically present and mentally they're absent. Good, very good. Any other understanding from your side? Absent-minded. There are two more rubrics.
Daydreamer.
Okay, daydreaming, good. Daydreaming also comes under absent-minded. For example,
Mind wandering. Is it
mind wandering.
living
okay.
in another world?
Okay, living in another world. See, what you have to understand is, for example, as a teacher, when I'm teaching, somebody is lost. Okay. For example, as a practitioner, you are questioning the patient, but the patient is not there with you. So to make it very simple here, absent-minded, somebody also talks of absorbed, being inattentive. They all will come next. See, now absent-minded is simple. Mind is absent. See, mind is absent. What does this statement tell us is, mind is absent, meaning in the present situation, his mind is absent. For example, I have got some small text for you. As the word suggests, it means that the person's mind is absent in the present. When a person has a tendency to be thinking of something else and is not attentive towards what is happening in the present around him, whether it is some conversation happening or some event happening, then it is called absent-minded. Meaning, somebody rightly said, physically you are there, but mentally you are not there. Okay, in the present situation. We'll take up absorbed and then you'll understand the meaning better. Now absorbed, this is where we stopped in the last class. Absorbed is one is buried in thought. For example, if you apply, or how do you differentiate quickly absorbed and absent-minded? How do we differentiate absorbed and absent-minded?
In absent-minded
Means engrossed in something, very much involved in something.
Okay, very much involved in something. Done. So what does this tell us? It could also be a positive symptom. Okay, meaning if you are engaged in something very active, okay, very positive, that can again be a positive symptom. Or if you are thinking something negative also, it can be a negative symptom. But for you, important here is you are engaged or you are deeply buried in a thought. There was another answer, some other lady doctor was trying to tell us. Swati is one who spoke. There was another lady. Can you please repeat it again? There was one more doctor who was trying to answer this.
Sir, in absent-minded, there is no thoughts.
Okay, very good.
In absorbed, there will be engrossed in the thoughts.
Very good.
That is the
Beautiful.
difference between.
There is absence of thought, meaning you are blank. Fine. Okay. Here there are thoughts present. Beautiful. Absolutely right. We'll go ahead. See now, simple thing. For example, as a teacher, if I catch hold of a person who is absent-minded, and if I ask them, what are you thinking? He may not have anything to tell. Fine. For example, if he is an absorbed guy, and if you ask him, boss, what are you thinking? At least he will have something to tell you. Okay. So when you shake them up or when you question them, when you ask them something, an absorbed guy can come out with something. But an absent-minded guy will not have anything to tell. Okay. Now, which is the miasm that is under play here? If it is absorbed, it is more of psychosis. And if it is absent-minded, absent-mindedness is also more of psychosis. Now, last class we were trying to understand, does absorbed come under intellect or does absorb come under emotion? Any idea? Is it more of an intellectual rubric or is it more of an emotional rubric?
Both, sir.
Both. That's what we are trying to understand here. It is emotional when you are absorbed with some thoughts. For example, dwells on past disagreeable occurrences, or if it is brooding, then it can become emotional. Okay. This is the slide you are not able to see it last time. Must be next 10 minutes. We'll have to again shut down and rejoin. See, absorbed becomes intellectual when you are absorbed planning, or when you are absorbed theorizing something, or when you are introspecting, or when you are fancying. I've also tried to give you the remedies so that tomorrow it will become very easy. Now my basic idea here is, if you start understanding a rubric like this, then your practice or your PG learning becomes very, very interesting. Okay. So now the commonest problem all of us have is, sir, one single rubric and you've got so many remedies. So even if he is absorbed, why is he absorbed? Okay, what is he absorbed about will help us differentiating the remedies. Am I clear? Okay. So this is with absorbed, and the miasm will be mainly psychotic miasm. Now you have another very important thing. This is abstraction of mind. Now what is abstraction of mind? For example, in your clinic, when you're questioning, fine, you might get all the three things here. You might get absent-minded, you might get absorbed, or you might get abstraction of mind. Now, what is abstraction of mind?
Vagueness. State of
Vagueness. Okay, vagueness. Good.
There is no fixity of thoughts in abstraction.
Okay, there is no fixity of thoughts. So, see here, the person will be focused more on imaginary things, okay, unrealities, not able to concentrate on the present time or present place. So this comes higher than absent-mindedness. For me here, the miasm is syphilis. So abstraction of mind is more syphilitic, absorbed and absent-mindedness is more psychotic. Thinking which is not real or logical, but sometimes unreal or imaginary is abstraction of mind. So abstraction of mind, absorbed, okay, concentration difficult, concentration, this thing, what is comprehension difficult. they all come under poor intellect. So going ahead, we have another very important rubric. So this rubric, how do you interpret this in your clinic? Undertakes many things, but perceives see nothing. Many times you have
Is
patients
it-
coming, no? Yeah.
They take up a lot of things, but they don't execute or they don't follow up with any particular thing.
Okay, they take up many things, but they don't follow it up. Okay, good. Any other definitions from your side? Practically, how do we elicit this in our day-to-day practice?
Like for example, in during examination, boy says, "Sir, I had read, but I couldn't execute, or I couldn't answer in exams."
Okay, okay. See, for example, the
Not
whatever
going
the
to complete his work.
okay. See, I mean, this will not exactly fit into this particular rubric. Okay, because there is one example that before exams is not a, he studied and is not able to do. That will not come under
Taking up
this
many
rubric.
classes but not going
Very
to the
good.
end, like
Okay.
swimming class or dancing class. They'll not
Yes,
finish
very
it.
good.
They'll go
Good.
it, but they'll not finish it.
Okay, they will enroll.
Yes.
We have patients coming, you know, they would have paid annual fee, gym, 20,000 rupees. They go for 3 days, 4 days and they quit. See, not one incident. Similarly, they would have joined Zumba classes, fine? Zumba classes, they would have gone for 15 days, 20 days and they quit. So when a person takes up many things and, you know, he does not continue, okay, in such situations, we can take up this particular rubric, fine? Now, my question is, always make it a point to ask him or to ask the patient why exactly he or she did not complete. Okay. So somebody has told jack of all, master of none. Good, very good, absolutely right. Jack of all trades, master of none, very good. Now the question is, if you start thinking, what could be the probable reasons why this particular patient is not, completing?
Anxiety.
Very good. 1 second before you start shooting, mind you, if you start analyzing every rubric tomorrow in your practice like this, your practice becomes very easy. There will be no confusion. There will be no difficulty in repertorizing or in when you have to differentiate the repertorial totality. This exercise will become very, very easy. Okay, so at least try to imagine, assume what could be the reasons why a person is not able to complete.
Capriciousness.
Anxiety.
Okay,
Lack of
anxiety.
motivation.
Okay, Dr. Shigufta from US has told losing interest, anxiety about the results, very good. Change desire for
Lack of
beautiful.
motivation.
Lack of motivation, good. So they take up
So
something.
capriciousness.
Okay, it could be simple
Capricious.
capriciousness. It
They
could
can
be,
also be inquisitive people, sir. They just want to
Okay,
know what
so-
it is, but they don't want to achieve
yeah,
it.
yeah, they lose interest. Okay, they want to know what it is, they lose interest. Beautiful. You know, I mean, I'm very happy. You know, a lot of answers have come in. Okay, so I will make things more simpler for you. Like for example, this depends on the remedy. I hope you agree with me. See, for example, there can be problems because we are talking of intellect. We are talking of intellect. You need to understand that they might have problems to do with judgment. Fine. Okay. So, for example, their judgment might be wrong. They would have. They might be foolish. See now what they have taken and how quickly they have quit and how quickly they have joined one more. All that will tell you what exactly has gone wrong. There could be problems with judgment. We'll talk of judgment a little later. Or they take up something. See, for example, a person would have joined gym and the gym master would have told, you will gain 10 kgs. So out of that excitement, you join, but you don't have that patience to wait for the results to come. And then you immediately shift to Zumba or you immediately shift to something else. Fine. So hurried, impatient, capriciousness, or sometimes, you're very ambitious. You see that this is not giving the kind of results I expect. So you jump to something else. So when somebody comes to you with this particular rubric, mind you, you have to understand, is the problem there with the judgment? Is he hurried, impatient? Is he ambitious, or is he greedy? Somebody tells no, there you get better profit. Why don't you invest there? So he gives in this and he goes for that. Is it that is greedy, or many times this person can be a weak-willed person? So is it weak-willed, or like your fluoric acid? Fluoric acid, this is a remedy that you should think of here, is that they definitely need change. And from what I've learned from sir, he says fluoric acid likes a lot of challenges. So he might take up a job which is too demanding, and once that job or once that company comes up to a very good position, he quits that company and then he'll go to something else. So change, wanting that change is more of fluoric acid. We have 1 more minute time. So I hope, is this rubric clear for you? Undertakes many things but pursues in nothing. Tomorrow you get this situation in your clinic, please see what exactly the problem is. Okay. If the problem is that he made a wrong judgment, the set of remedies are different. I'm not giving you the remedies today because there's too much of, it will take too much of time. Is it greed? Is it weak-willed? All that it should be very clear. So we have a minute's time. What we'll do is we will rejoin again, and then I have a case of gastritis to share, and we'll see what exactly the rubrics are taken. So before we take up the case, probably we'll leave meeting and we'll rejoin. Asha?
Okay, sir.
Last, before we closed, I was trying to tell you about this rubric, undertakes many things. And in the chat box, I also see a few more things, like for example, what is it? They lose interest very quickly, etc., etc. Absolutely fine. Now, I was trying to share a small case with you. And now what is this case was, we had a teacher who was teaching in, who is still teaching in Narayana College. And this gentleman had come to us for severe gastric problem. Okay. And we don't prescribe just because it is gastritis. Prescription will become very difficult. So naturally, what majority of us do is we take the case in detail. So the case was taken in detail, and nothing very interesting came up in the case. So 153 aphorism, we always try to look for that characteristic syphilitic symptom in any given case, or we look up for a PQRS symptom in any given case. So we were also trying to understand in this case, what was that PQRS symptom? Okay. So we tried very hard, and in the end, after working so hard, what we got from this gentleman is, what is his profession? I told you was, he was a teacher. And what he was trying to tell us was, he had a peculiar problem. And what was the problem is, lesser sign and greater sign. I repeat, lesser sign and greater sign, he always gets confused. And the subject he's teaching is physics. You getting my point? Yeah. So he was confused between lesser and greater sign. Fine. So now what I want you to understand here is, I want to see, don't jump to the remedies. Don't jump to the remedies like Baretta cough. Okay. Because Baretta does not, you don't see this symptom in Baretta cough. Now this symptom, what you have here is, there is, now what do you understand from this rubric or from the statement the patient has given you? He's got problems in see, or I'll make it very simple. What he was trying to tell me was, sir, anything that is similar, is a Telugu speaking guy, sir, ఏదన్నా చాలా దగ్గరగా ఉంటుంది కదా, దాంట్లో నాకు కన్ఫ్యూషన్ వచ్చేస్తుంది సార్. ఒక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇవ్వండి సార్, దేని గురించి కన్ఫ్యూషన్ అంటే, సార్ ఇప్పుడు నేను టీచ్ చేస్తా ఉంటాను, లెస్సర్స్ అయినా గ్రేటర్స్ అయినా నాకు దాంట్లో కన్ఫ్యూషన్ ఉంటుంది. చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి నాకు ఈ కన్ఫ్యూషన్ ఉంది సార్. ఓకే, సో సో దిస్ ఈస్ వాట్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు అండర్స్టాండ్. ఫైన్. సో యాజ్ somebody rightly said, this rubric is what we call it as confounding. Okay, so now what is confounding? Confounding is when you have confusion with similar things. Okay, for example, can you think of any other examples, similar things? Certain vegetables which might
Right,
look
left.
very huh? Yeah.
Sides, right and left.
Okay, sides.
And
D and D. D and
Ah.
D.
and Q.
Very good, beautiful. D and D, good. Now, do you think D and D, right and left, will come under confounding?
Maybe that is dyslexia.
ವರ್ಷ ಕನೆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಹೋಯ್ತಾ?
So, ಇಲ್ಲಿ the next thing that we'll try to understand here is poor intellect related to judgment. Okay, see quickly, judgment ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? From our own language, patients ಹೆಂಗ್ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ, ನೀವು ಹೆಂಗ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತೀರಾ? Judgment. Judgment.
Ability to assess.
Very good. Simple language. Ability to assess. Very good. Correct. Absolutely right. Any other simple definitions?
To distinguish.
Ability to make considered decisions or come to some sensible conclusion. This is how your dictionary gives. Okay. Now quickly, ಈ ಒಂದು ಜಡ್ಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಏನೇನು ಪೂವರ್ ಇಂಟೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ರೂಬ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ಬೋದು?
Indecisive resolution.
Very good. Irresolute, beautiful, correct. Irresolute. Only irresolute. Judgment.
Confusion.
Okay, confusion. Anything better? Confusion is something different. We'll talk in detail about that. It's a very important rubric. Apart from confusion, indecisive. See, I'll just give you a small case. Again, we'll talk of a case so that you understand the rubric that I'm going to tell you better. See, we had a man aged around 44 or 46. He worked for Pepsi company, and he is a man who, when we took his case, he had come to us for hemorrhoids, bad hemorrhoids. And when we took this case in detail, what we understood in his case, what was that was peculiar was, he would believe people very easily. To the extent he would give his what is it, credit cards. He had 4
Impressionable.
and he would give credit cards, and people would
Indiscretion.
okay, indiscretion, impressionable. One more thing, what is it that core of this
Credulous.
case? Okay, one second, I'll come to it. What is the core that you're missing here is, he would just give, if anybody in his office, they come to him and they tell, sir, nan tumba kashta ide, I'm into a lot of problems. Then he would blindly give a credit card of his, and he would give all the details and he would send. So 4 credit cards. And
Naive.
yeah, very good. Naive is a beautiful thing that you can think of here. Somebody before that shouted credulous. Now my question to you is this naive or is it credulous? What is naive?
Lack of experience or lack of wisdom that he gives off. Innocent again gottildene.
Okay, fine. So
That is naive.
Innocency is naive.
Yeah.
Okay. Bolapan. Okay, very innocent. Fine, is naive. So is this naive or is this something higher? Now this is where this exercise becomes very important. Some would have taken naive. Okay, you take naive and then you fail. So this is not naive. This is
It belongs to
naive
others.
naive is very soric. naive is very sorry. Naive is being very innocent. Now here more than naive, anybody comes and they cries telling I have got problems, and you just give your credit card or you give your money, and that is very peculiar in this man. So when we tried entering more into the details, what we found was he is a guy who can be taken for a ride very easily. So people who believe very easily, they are called as credulous. Okay. So how many remedies we have under the rubric credulous? We have 5 rubrics: belladonna, stephysagria, baretta carb, pulsatilla, and argentum metricum. 5 remedies. Okay. And looking into his other disposition, the remedy we gave him was baretta sulf. And after baretta sulf, after 2 months, he comes back and tells, hemorrhoids were better, but we are not worried about hemorrhoids. You know what we are more worried about. What is it that you should be more worried about in this case? I have a recording beautifully given by this gentleman. What happened after he started taking homeopathy? Now, what should improve? What should happen? What should improve in this case?
He should stop giving away his money or
Okay,
credit card.
stop giving away. See now, what had happened in this case now? To get through the credit of one credit card, he has taken another credit card. So to clear the depth of that credit card, he has taken another credit card. Like that, he has taken 4 credit cards. Okay. So, first time we told after 2 months when we were trying to interact, sir, life lo chana samvatsaraల tarvata. After many years, I have told no to my brother because brother keeps asking money. So after long time, sir, చాలా గట్టి మనసు చేసుకొని ఫస్ట్ టైం నాకే షాక్ అయింది. I could say no to my brother when he wanted some money. So this is the capacity of homeopathy. When you give it correctly, it can bring in great changes. So credulous for me, for you today is believing, blindly believing somebody. Okay, fine. Blindly believing somebody is credulous. Don't forget this rubric. It's a beautiful rubric. And the beauty is it's got only 5 remedies. So your search becomes very easy. I use this rubric very often in my practice. This is something higher than Nave. Nave, Bola is Soric. Credulous is more psychosis, more psychosis. Now, what is the other icon that you see below? What do you understand from this icon? We are talking of judgment. So please use your judgment and think of some related rubrics towards judgment. What are all the other rubrics that you can think of?
Being stupid.
Indiscretion.
Very good, beautiful. Indiscretion, good. Now, what is indiscretion? It should be there somewhere. What is indiscretion?
Can't distinguish between two things.
Yes, Guru, can't?
Can't distinguish between two things.
Okay, see, discretion or indiscretion. See, again, when you talk of discretion, there will be lack of judgment. Okay, a person who is indiscreet will have problems with his judgment. ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗೆ I'll just give a small example. ನಿಮ್ಗೊಂದು ಕೆಲಸ ಸಿಕ್ತು ಅಥವಾ ನೀವೊಂದು ಕೆಲಸ ಬಿಟ್ರಿ, ಫೈನ್, ಅಂಡ್ ಯು ನಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎನಿ ಬ್ಯಾಕಪ್ ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಗೀನ್ ಏನೂ ಇರಲ್ಲ, ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಟ್ರಿ. ಅಥವಾ 2 ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಇತ್ತು ನಿಮ್ ಕೆಲಸ, ಅಂಡ್ ಅನ್ಫಾರ್ಚುನೇಟ್ಲಿ ಯು ಟೇಕ್ ಅಪ್ ದಿಸ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಬಿ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಆಲ್ ದಟ್ ವರ್ತ್ ಇಟ್. ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿತ್ತು, ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಸ್ಯಾಲರಿ, ಮನೆ ಹತ್ರ ಕಂಪನಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿತ್ತು, ಬಟ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಆ ಜಡ್ಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಜಡ್ಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಗುಡ್ ಜಡ್ಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ರೈಟ್ ಜಡ್ಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಇರಲ್ಲ, ಅಂಡ್ ಯು ಆಪ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಸಿಲ್ಲಿ. ಅದು ಇಂಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರಿಷನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಫೈನ್. ಸೊ ಸರ್ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಫಾರ್ ದಟ್ ಹಿ ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ರೂಬ್ರಿಕ್, ಇಂಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರಿಷನ್. ಸೊ ಇಂಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರಿಷನ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Some lady was talking of foolish, stupid, imbecile, etc., etc. Now, when is it foolish? When do you take the rubric foolish? When do you take the rubric idiotic? When do you take the rubric imbecile? There are 3 different rubrics. ನೀವು ರೆಪರ್ಟರಿ ತೆಗೆದಾಗ ಫೂಲಿಶ್ ಬಿಹೇವಿಯರ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದಿದೆ, ಇಡಿಯಟ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದಿದೆ, ಇಂಬೆಸಿಲಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಒಂದಿದೆ. So when do we take these three rubrics? ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದೀರಾ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಟ್ರಾ? Yeah, sorry for using Kana in between. Okay, so I mean, are you there? When do we take the rubric? Foolish.
So your thing is look, sir. So look, imbecile is like the way he behaves
Okay.
rather than a look.
So
And-
one of your friends says idiotic is mainly the look. You go with this. You go with this. Somebody might have an idiotic look. Okay. So can we take them to be idiotic?
No, sir. It's a mental impairment.
Okay, it's a mental impairment. Beautiful. See, now we'll help this doctor. One second. We'll help this doctor. Now, when will you take this rubric? Whatever she's trying to tell us. So under face, you have expression. And under face, you have expression. And under expression, you've got different rubrics. For example, idiotic expression, expressionless face, whatever it is. Probably based on what your requirement is, you can take those expressions. Okay, old looking, you got a lot of expressions. Fine, you can take those expressions. Serious, he never smiles, always very serious. You got a lot of expressions. You can take those. Coming back to foolish, coming back to idiocy, and the other thing that we just spoke was imbecility. See, now for you, these things, they are different levels of foolishness. Okay. ನಿಮ್ಮ patient to what extent he is foolish, based on that you can take up these rubrics. Okay, fine. So what is that comes up at the lower level is idiocy, and next will be imbecility, and third will be foolishness. If you're looking at the hierarchy. Okay, fine. Now where do you get this particular information? You IQ levels ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಆ levels ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Okay. Understanding psychology and homeopathy will become very important. Irresolute, I'll take it a little later. So for you, for time being, foolish, imbecility, and idiocy. These are the levels you should remember. A very important rubric is confusion. Confusion. Harsha, confusion. Now what exactly one understands from the word confusion? Yen confusion. No? And what are all the similar rubrics that will come up? You tell me all that, we'll take it up, we'll differentiate, and then we'll move further. And similar rubrics, okay? And how do we differentiate those similar rubrics? What is confusion?
Choose between two courses of action, between two choices, inability to take a decision.
Confusion is being uncertain, not knowing what is happening or.
Okay, fine. See, now what we need to understand is this is at a level of higher intellect, confusion. First very important thing. So for example, in your case taking, somewhere you get this rubric confusion, you will have to give a lot of importance. This is at a very higher level. First very important thing. Now what is this is, when here why we are giving so much of importance to confusion is because this is at the level of intellect and thinking. Okay, so this will become very important for us. See, for example, the commonest confusions we are using in our clinic of late is PCOD. Okay, so you have a case of a PCOD. The girl will have, she's a girl, naturally it's a case of PCOD, but then she'll have more of boyish features. Like for example, she has got more of hirsutism. She looks very manly. Her thinking is very manly and all. Now here we take one sub-rubric of confusion. Now she is confused whether she is a female or she should behave like a male. So here the common rubric that we take up here is confusion, identity.
Identity.
Absolutely right. So for example, PCODs, if you have got not that good results in your practice, please do enter through this rubric, provided you have seen in this particular case that this lady is confused. So her dressing sense is more boyish, her talks are more boyish, she's got hair or mush like a boy. Fine. Please do enter the case with this rubric, and it can make a lot of impact with the results. And no doubt the miasm, when you talk of confusion, is syphilitic miasm. The miasm is syphilitic. Now, what is irresolute? How is irresolute different from confusion?
Cannot take a decision.
Okay, so this is at the level of decision making. Good, very good. Cannot take decisions. Fine. See again, irresolute can be more of a will rubric, and this can be more of an intellect rubric. Okay. So you are not able to take a decision. You understand the situation, but you lack the will to decide. Then it will become irresolute. And miasm is mainly sorrow, psychotic. Okay. This is indiscretion. They spoke. We'll skip this. Now we'll take this rubric, very important rubric. Now what is this rubric? Is mistakes makes. Now I'll share a small case. See, everything, majority of the rubrics we use in our clinic, day in and day out. There are cases that we can discuss. Now, earlier, one of the doctors told about, somebody mistaking D and D, big D, small d, or see, D and, or for example, P and Q. Okay, somebody mistaking and all. So now what is this that you'll have to worry about? Many times we have kids coming 5 years, 6 years to our clinic.
Dyslexia.
Yeah, very good. Dyslexia. Mother complains, telling sir, for D she writes B, for P she writes Q, and all those things. Fine. So more than branding have to be dyslexic. We'll have to understand. Good. Dyslexic, yeah, very good. Agreed. Then dyslexia is more when it is in terms of reading. Reading. Problems with reading is dyslexic. Not everybody is dyslexic. We can't brand them like that. When the problem area is reading, then it is a dyslexic child. We'll get back to this rubric I was trying to help you on. So small p ge ಅಥವಾ b ಗೆ d ಬರೆಯೋದು ಈ ತರ ಉಲ್ಟಾ ಬರೆಯೋದು. What is this called?
Dysgraphia.
No, yeah, fine. That's the medical world, but I want the homeopathic thing. So one of your friends has rightly told.
Mistakes makes writing in.
Yeah, see, not writing in. See, writing in, it can be any mistake. For example, spelling mistakes, writing in, they might make mistakes. That's a different rubric. This is mistakes makes transposing letters. Don't forget this, very useful rubric. Transposing letters. You have stramonium, you have platina, you have got lycopodium, you have got germanium net. I have used all the 4 remedies in different cases based on the disposition. Recently, one girl is improving beautifully with stramonium. It's a case of asthma, and asthma is also better, and she's also much better with the mistakes that she used to make. Okay, that is transposing letters. This is the rubric. Writing, that's a different rubric. Okay, so mistakes makes, what you need to understand is what a person is making mistake with. Okay, and why is he making that mistake? That will tell us about the homeopathic perspective. Again, a very broad rubric. You've got a lot of sub rubrics. Must be, once we are done with this, immediately go back to your repertories and see, so that you'll not forget it. Okay. So now what are all the rubrics we have here is mistakes makes depends upon the faculty involved. Is it at the level of judgment? Is it at the level of calculation? Is it at the level of thought? All those things becomes very important. So here, you make a mistake, it could be because of lack of knowledge, it could be lack of concentration, lack of comprehension, and it could be simple heedlessness, it could be memory weak, it could be out of confusion, it could be out of absent-mindedness, it could be hasty, it could be unobserving. Unobserving. Now, what is this rubric? Unobserving. It's a new thing. Unobserving. What is unobserving?
Making the same mistake again and again, not
Okay.
learning from a
Not learning from your past mistakes. Now here again, when you look into the rubrics, there are a lot of remedies. Now each remedy has a reason why they become unobserving. So Barata is also there. Barata is unobserving because he has no sense to understand from his mistakes. And you also have Platina under unobserving. Can somebody explain why Platina is placed under unobserving? What is that you have in Platina when it comes to unobserving?
She thinks she is correct, sir.
So yes,
Haughtiness.
very good. Yeah, in Platina it is out of haughtiness.
Very confident of it. Egotism.
Yes, haughtiness, not ego, haughty. So Platina is haughty. So why the hell should I observe? See, friends, if you start learning a rubric like this, learning rubrics will be fun. I'm not a repertory teacher, but then it will be definitely fun. I hope my repertory PG friends agree with this part. Okay, it will, and making mistakes because there's some problem with the judgment. Now, each of this will have a different set of remedies. I have the list of remedies, but lack of time, I couldn't type. If you are interested, I can post it on the WhatsApp group. Is the rubric mistakes makes clear? Why they make mistake and what is the mistake they make? You should be very, very careful. Okay. And another very important rubric of poor intellect is difficulty in learning. Constitutionally, there are few people who cannot learn very easily. Learning easy was a good intellect rubric. Learning difficult is a poor intellect rubric. 24 remedies you have. Yes, absolutely right. 24 remedies. Agaricus tops the list. And you also have another rubric, sub-rubric here. Learning difficult learns everything new. See, it seems that she would have to learn everything new. ಪ್ರತಿ ಸತಿ ಓದಿದಾಗ ಅದು ಹೊಸದಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. Even when we were students, it used to happen. Kent ಓದಿದಾಗ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಓದಿದಾಗ ಹೊಸದಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಪ್ರತಿ time it will look new for us. Not that you have got new understanding, but it looks new for us. And the remedy is sepia. Okay. See, learning difficult, learns the same thing over and over, yet remains untrained. So same thing ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ. ನೀವು ಅಷ್ಟು ಸೇಮ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೂ they will not get trained in that. And now somebody was typing the remedy, and now the remedy is Barataka. Okay. So we can also look at the intellectual rubrics related to delusions. This I will not take it today because it's a very huge topic. Must be when time permits we'll take. See, now there are few things. This is the sum up slide of this. See, if your IQ is good, then you will be very curious. Your observations will be good. Okay, the reasoning will be good. If your IQ is low, you'll have low creativity. You'll have learning deficiencies. You'll have problems with adaptation, and you will be more prone to emotional outburst. So people with low IQ, poor intellect, and people with good intellect. Okay. Now this is a very important thing. Having told you about poor intellect rubrics, now the question comes up: which are all the cases where we should not use the poor intellect rubrics? Quickly, somebody can you have a
MR,
small?
mental retardation.
Okay, MR, very good. So see, this is also very important. Tomorrow a MR child comes to you. You can't take, the poor intellect rubric symptoms. Concentration difficult, or comprehension difficult, memory weak, okay, dull. All these rubrics will not have any role to play. You can't take idiot, EDSC there. Fine. So I have a list. You will have a better list on Google. This is just to show you that there are few diseases where poor intellect can be a common symptom. Please avoid taking poor intellect rubrics in such diseases. Okay. So I hope I was clear with what I was trying to convey. Now we'll come to the intellectual symptoms of Cocculus indicus. Now, before I take up the intellectual symptoms of Cocculus indicus, I hope I was clear. We spoke of good intellect and we also spoke of poor intellect. If you have any questions, I'll unmute all of you. You can ask the questions if at all you have any. We'll take up the questions and then must be next 15 minutes. We'll try to finish off, if Dr. Manohar permits. Today we'll try to finish off the mind of Cocculus, or if you're exhausted with the rubrics, we can take it up in the next class. So any questions related to
Some examples.
See, these are all the levels. Like for example, you know, in a given situation, see, for example, the age comes into picture. Okay. Situation, how is he reacting? Is it apt that the reaction is doing? Is it apt? If it is not apt, how much it is not apt? Okay. For example, if you feel it is too silly what he is doing, then you can take up the lowermost thing, and the lowermost thing will be like, you know, for example, idiocy. Fine. Or for example, if you think it was not all that bad, but again it was not a very wise decision, he was foolish. So ultimately, it also depends how foolish or how intelligent we homeopaths are, or the doctor is. Okay. So based on that, we may have to assess, we may have to grade, and then we can go for the rubrics. Okay. I hope that is clear.
Yes, sir.
Any more questions?
So in confusion, under confusion, we have many subrubrics like between
Yes.
places, between names, and
Yes.
there's confounding. So how do we differentiate when to take confounding? Because even in confounding, there are two similar things wherein they're confused. Or in what
Uzma, confounding is mainly to do with objects. Okay. Or things which are very, very similar. See, confounding, you also have it under mistakes. Even in mistakes, they give you a rubric, mistakes, objects which are similar. Fine. Now, anyway, we'll deviate a small, we'll have a small deviation here. Which is higher? Is mistakes makes higher, or is confusion higher? Because you'll have similar things coming up here, there. Makes mistakes, okay, in names, confused with names. Confused loses his way in the well-known states. Mistakes makes in well-known states, something like that. You'll have two very close things coming up. So my small question to you is mistakes makes higher, or is confusion higher?
Confusion.
Why? Because I told you it's an intellect rubric and that's the highest. Or is mistakes making higher? Think not. Take a minute. Which is higher?
making because it's involved with an action. Confusion was
Okay.
perhaps just related to the thought.
Okay. See, for example, take a practical example now. You have some doubt. Fine. Okay. For example, a question paper. Fine. So should I rate 2 or 3? Okay. Should I tick A or B? They look very similar. Fine. So when you're confused, what you do is it will be at the level of confusion only. But when you make mistakes, you would have ticked something. You would have ticked B. You are confused between B and C, but then the action has happened. Then you tick B. Okay. But if you are confused now, you will be at the level of confusion only. You will not decide if it is B or C. So for me, with this simple example, what I want to convey here is confusion, mistakes makes, no, it is an action, it is what happened. It is psychosis. See, in confusion, you are still at the level of confusion. Should I go this way or should I go that way? You are confused. Mistakes makes means you would have taken a wrong route. You would have taken right instead of taking left. But if you're confused, you are confused. Should I take left or should I take right? Hope this is not too confusing.
Yes, yes.
Huh? Okay, so mistakes mix will be psychosis and it is lower. Confusion is syphilitic and it will come at a higher level. Ultimately, it is the patient action that will tell us. Sir, when you are in doubt, what do you do? I mean, I had a patient with retinal hemorrhage, and this gentleman had problems. Same road, no, he's been traveling for almost 40 years from office home, but every day when he goes, he's confused. Should I take this turn or should I take that turn? Fine. So he will not make a mistake of taking a right turn, but at that junction, he stands and he thinks, ಯಾವ ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ಈಗ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾ ರೈಟ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾ ರೈಟ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾ and after Naxpamika, his confusion is better and the ophthalmologist has given a very positive results about his the vision problems whatever he had. Okay, so ultimately ask the patient what exactly he is doing and you please go ahead. Okay, Mano, ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ನಿಲ್ಸೋದಾ ಒಂದು 15 ನಿಮಿಷ calculus.
So what about precocity and childishness?
Okay,
That
see now.
will come under-
No, one second. It's a nice question. See, precocious is what? It is psychosis, fine? Meaning, like many times, common examples I'll give you. At home, you are a very small girl and, her intelligence or her maturity is too much. What you are talking like an old granny, fine? So that is precocious. Precocious, it is ugly, fine? And childishness is something, I mean, he's not matured according to his age. I gave this example to you once in your PG class about a case that I was treating cerebrospinal ataxia. And what did I tell you is, this lady, when she goes and dries the clothes on the balcony or wherever, and she will hide behind the door, and when her owner auntie enters to dry her clothes, she will say boo and she will frighten her. And how old is this lady? She is 40 plus. And my son Sujay also used to do a few years back, whenever I used to come from college, when they used to open the door, he would stand behind the door and he used to say bow. And that's a different thing. He was 5 years, 6 years. He used to do that is according to his age. Now this lady is 42, and what is the kind of act that you are trying to see here? So in this lady, I had taken childish behavior, and other rubrics also were taken, and the remedy we gave her was agaricus. She is improving, beautifully improving. Not that she is walking. We have our follow-up videos. They used to carry her and come, but now at least with the help of walkers, she is coming to clinic. So childishness and precocity, it shows the levels of maturity. Who is the patient? Okay then. Do you have any more questions related to intellect?
Sir, hello,
Yes.
sir.
Yeah.
Sir, when do we take the rubric chaotic?
Chaotic. See what exactly chaotic means. See, chaotic is like, for example, a simple example. You have when there is no traffic policeman, okay, and when you have vehicles coming from all the directions, fine. Now, what is that situation that you see there is chaotic, fine. So what happens is in your brain or in your mind, when your thoughts, which are so many that you are not able to have a hold on something, and you've got too many things, fine. That is the situation. You can take this rubric. I hope I'm clear. I don't know who asked this question, but yes. Artha aita?
Sir, can you please give us an example?
See, that's what, like, for example, some situations, okay, some situation that has happened in a person's life, and then so many thoughts coming up, and she's not able to decide, and a lot of things happening in her mind, fine. and she's not able to come to a clear conclusion. Lot of thinking, a lot of thoughts. One thought keeps pounding on the other one, and she's in a very bad state of mind. So that state of mind can be considered as chaotic.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
If you're still not clear, we'll see what best can be done. But from what I understand now, this is what I could recall and let you know. Okay. Any other seniors if you have used the rubric chaotic in your practice, the free to share. ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ you can tell. Okay, so we'll come to this last part of calculus. The intellectual symptoms. See, we have discussed the emotional symptoms of calculus. We have the intellect, and of course we have the will. See, now what type of intellect do you think calculus will have? We have spent almost 2 hours in understanding the type of intellect. Now, keeping the so good intellects, Dr. Vijayashree says good intellect. See, but if you look at calculus, what you need to understand is
It is more of an emotional remedy.
okay, it's more of an emotional remedy. See, and more than that, no, in calculus, the day that we started, what we saw was there was more of slowing down. You saw paralysis, you saw paresis at the physical level. Even at the intellectual level, what you see is the thought process, the thinking, the understanding, the comprehension, everything will be slowed down. Okay. So this slowing down in calculus will give rise to dullness. Okay. And what is the speciality of dullness in calculus? Dullness will be more in the morning in bed, and this dullness comes mainly from mental exertion, reading, and sexual excess. Another very important thing is dullness. Now what happens is any question that you ask now, you will have to repeat in calculus. Okay. Understands question only after repetition. Am I clear? So there is so much of dullness, there is so much of slowness in calculus that the question that you ask, that question has to be repeated. Okay. Which is the remedy in which the patient repeats the question? Yes. So here, the understanding or they understand better when you repeat the question. So they can't catch the question in one go. So they are not quick to act. They're not people of with good intelligence. Fine. And even when they answer, what you see is they answer very slowly. Okay. Answer, there is a rubric after reflecting long. What do you understand by this rubric? Calculus is one of the 3-mark remedies in this. Now, practically, how do we see this situation in our clinic? Answering, okay, reflecting long. How do you understand this rubric?
They think for a long time and then answer.
Okay, very good. They think for a long time. So when you question a patient, okay, so a calculus patient will think a lot. Now, why is he thinking a lot? This is also very important. Each constitution may have a reason why they are thinking. For example, somebody might think, should I tell this or should I not tell this? That's a different thing. In calculus, there is problem with comprehension. There's a problem with understanding of the question. So once you ask them a question, they take some time and then they answer. Mind you, it can be a common symptom in many neurological disorders. Please eliminate those things when you are treating the patient. So reflects long means thinking deeply. They think deeply and then they answer. Okay. When questioned does not answer. So this is also what you have in calculus. They have got aversion to questioning. See, now another aspect that we saw here is they can make mistakes. Mistakes making in location, mistakes making in speech, they can misplace words or they can use wrong words. Memory weakness for what has happened or what he has read, okay, or what he has thought. Weakness of memory for words, and he might also forget words. We saw absorbed, absent-minded, abstraction of mind. They're all there in calculus. There is also confusion, 3 marks, confusion which mainly comes from reading, from mental exertion. See, they find it very difficult to concentrate. Now in calculus, if you ask them to, or if you force them to concentrate, then they go into a state of confusion. Confusion on attempting to concentrate is also calculus. Okay. Vijay said it's a remedy for good intellect. 4 rubrics that I could identify in calculus, which belongs to good intellect: memory active 1 mark, ideas abundant 1 mark, theorizing 1 mark, and mathematics aptitude. Marks. Okay. Intellectual symptoms of calculus. One last slide. We'll try to finish the will rubrics of calculus. Under Sora, you have timid, confidence, want of. They're very yielding people. In psychosis, you see cowardice, weak-willed, irresolute, contradiction, intolerance, and contrary. These are the will rubrics. Majority are weak-willed rubrics, except for contrary and contradiction, which intolerance, which can be strong-willed rubrics. Before we close, one last question: how do you differentiate timidity with cowardice? And after which Dr. Sudhindra will share a nice case of calculus. Okay. Now quickly differentiate timidity from cowardice. Timidity, cowardice. Nobody.
Cowardice, the person will not even will avoid.
Lack of courage is cowardice.
Okay, then what is timidity? Timidity is
Cowardice
also lack
person
of
will
courage.
avoid getting the situation. Like if some fight is happening, he wouldn't even go there.
Okay,
Whereas a timid person can at least see the, can at least face it, but will not.
Yeah, absolutely right. Now, what is very important is in both you have lack of courage, but the beauty of this is the extent of lack of courage. That's why timidity is so rare. As Dr. Swati rightly said, if there's a fight happening, the timid guy will at least have that courage of going and seeing what the fight is all about. But the lack of courage is so much in cowardice person that they will not even think of seeing what is happening there. Running away from responsibilities, okay, is more of cowardice. Timid is pukultana, and cowardice in Kannada it is hedi. It is hedi. So with this, we come to the end of calculus mind. And before I close, or before Dr. Sudhindra takes over, we'll just try to sum up what we have tried to understand in calculus. So I've tried to give you the emotions at the level of Sora, psychosis, syphilis, and we have also tried to understand the intellectual rubrics in general and the intellectual rubrics of calculus in particular, and we spoke of the will symptoms of calculus. Okay, so might be next week when Dr. Manohar gives me a slot, we'll try to take up the syphilitic particulars of calculus. I know it's a very tiring learning because taking calculus almost for 5-6 hours, it might be very tiring, but I personally feel this exercise, if you start studying every remedy like this, then I feel your knowledge will be better. And see, don't limit to the theory knowledge. Please apply the knowledge in your practice. Okay. So thank you so much for your patient listening. And Dr. Sudhindra, before we close, will share a small case. Sir, Sudhindra Aura.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, and she is 48 years old,
Hmm.
suffering from very bad metrorrhagia for last 5 years.
Okay.
So underwent DNC for 5-6 times and lot of hormonal tablets, nothing helped.
Hmm.
And finally one day it was so much she is fainted at home.
Okay.
Husband called me.
Hmm.
That's the first time I went to, somebody gave my reference, I went to their house
Mhm.
to see her.
Hmm.
And she was almost fainted, bleeding was so much.
Mhm.
They were planning to go for a hysterectomy.
Hmm.
As a last chance, they want to try homeopathy.
Mhm.
So when turns on speaking to her, and on her table I saw many books.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
One book which I noticed was Vatsayana Kama Sutra.
Hmm.
He's translated that Sanskrit to Kannada and English.
Mhm. Hmm.
He's doing some last 5 years.
Hmm.
And I asked her husband, why is it? I don't know behind that book for last 5 years. Daily night she reads till 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock that book.
Hmm.
She gets up late in the morning. This is the only information I got it.
Okay.
And second thing, when I spoke to her, she told, I am fed up of this. Do something.
Hmm.
So there is only one rubric in complete repertory, Despair Meteorologia in
Okay.
Cocculus Indicus.
Oh, very good. Uh-huh.
So gave that 48 hours,
Mhm.
bleeding stopped.
Okay.
It's fine. Now they dropped the idea of going for a hysterectomy.
Yes, Chakma. Very good. Because we are worried what that Kama Sutra book had to do, so we are all keen to know about that. But
No,
anyway,
there
good
was
that-
one rubric you mentioned,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
even though I entered through the single remedy, but I confirmed that other thing.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thanks for. No, we thought it had any relationship with that book and translation. Anyway, thanks for sharing. Night reading.
It is night reading and observation, and what she is reading in the night.
Night. That is important. Anyway,
That is most important.
more important. Okay. Thank you, sir, for sharing.
Okay.
Mana, next to Budwara la.
Thank you, sir.